Good to see you.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you think?
When I went to college, my frequency essentially stayed the same. I don't need any help being any more paranoid. I also...
First things first. How do I get back to the surface?
The same way you got in, of course. You are not a prisoner here. You may come and go as you please. Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind, redefined. Unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
If the synths are intelligent and self-aware, then they have a right to free will.
However closely they may approximate human behavior, they are still our creations. When you see what I have to show you, I think you'll agree that we know what is best for our synths. A rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him.
Sure. We'll just fight our way through an army of homicidal maniacs and ask this...
I didn't say it would be easy. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay...
Right.
If I have any experience with it, that is just the most diplomatic way of asking me if I ever have smoked pot. And so with all the debate surrounding the legalization of marijuana and the fact that I'm sure some of you are curious as to my views on recreational marijuana use, I figure why not give my experience and opinion. Please note, this is just my opinion and nothing else. Also note that Alpha M and its affiliates do not endorse the views expressed by its owner. Okay, so the first question, have I ever smoked pot? The answer is yes, I have. And I inhaled. I first smoked pot in high school, my senior year. A lot of my friends were recreational stoners, and I thought, hey, let me give it a try and see what all the fuss is about. So I tried it. Nothing happened. So I tried it again, and I got high. Throughout high school, my senior year, I smoked it occasionally. When I went to college, my frequency essentially stayed the same. I don't need any help being any more paranoid. I also didn't have money. I grew up broke. I went to college, I was broke. I had to work, and so I never had money to spend on weed. It just wasn't that important for me. I'm living with 4 other guys.
Oh man, if I'm late for muster one more time, Captain Kells is gonna have me do 100 push-ups.
Lancer Captain Kells is one of the finest officers I've ever had the pleasure of serving under.
And I knew that prison was not somewhere where Alpha M would flourish. I would be popular, but I wouldn't do well. For these reasons, my junior year, I decided I needed to leave them and go and live by myself. So I went and got a 1-bedroom apartment. And really, that was about the end of my recreational marijuana use. Side note,
Any luck with that artifact?
Here it is.
Great. I'll get this documented and ready to send off. Here's your payment. Nothing like a successful mission. I'll always want more tech. Report back to me when you're ready.
Can't do it right now.
I get it. You need some time. Just be sure to find me when you're ready.
The Institute and technological abominations need to be stopped at any cost.
So I wanted to get done as quick as possible. So I did. Fast forward to today.
Hi.
I've been out of college for a while, and I do not smoke marijuana. I haven't touched the stuff in probably about 12 years. And there are a few reasons why. Reason number 1 is...
You better have some good news.
Affirmative.
Really? Maybe you're not as worthless as I thought. Here's your pay. As long as the Brotherhood's around, if you need time to regroup, take it.
I'm not ready.
Understood. For now. I'll expect to see you again, soldier.
I'm not saying that it's I'm just saying for me, I don't need it, I don't want it, I prefer being sober. Reason number two is I've got too much to do, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, I'm saying this in a good way. I've got a lot to do, I'm passionate, I'm excited, every day I get up and I'm excited to do what I'm about to do. Sometimes I don't know what it is, but smoking pot isn't something that's going to help me do what I need to do. In my experiences, when I would smoke pot, I would just get lazy. I just sit around, watch TV, and eat. Leading to reason number three, my vanity. Alright, I work way too hard staying in shape and taking care of my body physically, and smoking pot when I do it. I'm not saying that smoking pot is bad for you or that it's going to, cause you to, actually it does reduce your motivation a bit. But for me, it made me eat like crazy, right? I got the munchies super bad. And so I already have a tough time, not a tough time, but I've got to watch what I eat or else I'm going to balloon up to 180 pounds. And so marijuana, another thing where I just don't want to eat all the crappy food that would come along. Reason number four is just not something that I care to do. I think when I was younger, I did it for many different reasons. One was because it was like something,
Pridwin's Hall.
as you
Plenty of
grow,
punch.
as you mature, you're starting to test limits and try different things. And I think for me it was part of the, sort of the rebellion, the youth rebellion, where I was like, ooh, this is bad, it's dangerous. Oh, my friends are doing it, let me try. Because there was some peer pressure involved as well. Growing up, I wasn't hugely influenced. I say I wasn't hugely influenced. I'm sure that I was to a degree.
I received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
I think she's confused right now.
No matter. Given the proper motivation, I'm certain she can be persuaded to see things our way. As soon as Dr. Lee arrives, we'll interrogate her aboard the Pridwin. She's been under the Institute's influence for the last decade, and we can't afford to take any chances. Now, I believe you still possess an important piece of data that Proctor Ingram is eagerly awaiting. I want you to bring it to her immediately. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
Even back in high school,
Don't
and
despair, brother. We're here to save the Commonwealth.
like I said, I shouldn't have smoked that. I'm sure there was a dash of peer pressure in there. Also boredom. Sometimes when you're bored, when you're idle, when you're not working on something, you're like, what can I do now? Well, today, and where I'm at in my life and in my career, I don't
If you
feel
run into
the
any
need
sense,
to
shoot to kill.
occupy my
We don't
time
take
with specific behaviors. So to answer your question, yes, I've got limited experience with pot. I've never grown it, I've never smoked it in abundance. I've tried it, it was recreational. Is it something for me now where I am today? No. Is it somewhere where in 5 years, 10 years, I'm going to be like, you know what, I'm just going to go on some stoner trip? It's possible. I'm not ruling it out.
I don't see why everyone isn't out to eradicate this abomination.
Here's your holotape, Proctor. Hope the data on that thing was worth it.
Thanks. It's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the interceptor would do to you.
I wasn't worried. After all, I built the device myself.
I have confidence in everything I built, too. But that's because I'll only deal with technology that I understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
Hopefully, it'll reveal a weakness in their...
All of them encrypted, so it's gonna take some time to crack. After that, we'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe. In the meantime, I've got a new assignment for you. So, I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project. How much has Maxon told you?
Whatever it is, I'm sure it'll help us crush the Institute.
It will, but we've got... Come on.
I can't even imagine how
Blind
hard
as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been holding a gambit in the target. Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Pridwin might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in. Storage bay for parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Army. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Unfortunately, Liberty Prime was destroyed in the line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing him back together. And if you think that was easy, try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded. In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
No problem. I'm sure this only looks worse than it actually is.
I wish I had your confidence, because this is not going to be easy. Now, the good news is that we've got most of Prime's parts fully assembled. The bad news is that it's going to take more than a few rivets and some spot welding to get them working again. The first problem is his CPU. It's fragile, and every time we try to feed power to it, it blows itself out.
There's gotta be a way to solve that.
I do all the maintenance on the Pridwin, so you'd think it'd be a snap. As much as I hate to admit it, Prime's power systems are out of my league. Luckily, you were able to convince Dr. Madison Lee to return to the Brotherhood. She was on the original build team for Liberty Prime a little over a decade ago. I've already spoken to her, but she's reluctant to work on Prime for some reason. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with his power system, we can get the big guy moving.
Hesitating to pull the trigger on the arm.
Attention. Tomorrow's tactical briefing has been postponed. A new time and date will be forthcoming.
I don't know about Scribe Naraya. I think she loves her little zoo a bit too much.
Have you collected any blood samples, Knight?
Yes, here you go.
Thank goodness. Here's some cap.
If it looks dead, put one more in its head for good measure.
Dr. Lee.
Why take the
If
chance?
you're here to talk me into working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
What changed your mind?
Nothing changed my mind. I promised you I'd return to the Brotherhood, and I've kept my end of the bargain.
why you made that promise in the first place?
No, that won't be necessary. Tell Proctor Ingram to get her scribes ready. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get Liberty Prime back online, but we'll get it done.
In my experience, hotshots and big mouth end up with closed casket funerals.
Remember, we're out here representing the Brotherhood. Gotta clean up the mind and drown.
The last person that disobeyed
Paladin.
Captain Kells
Ready to
ended up
continue our
screaming
mission,
on
soldier?
top of the Strickland's hull.
I just want to trade a few things.
Very well. Help yourself. You can't carry all of that equipment. Give some of it to me. We could arm the prisoner. Ingram says the weight.
I can't believe I was lucky enough to get this assignment.
Proctor.
Well, things are off to a good start. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I hope so. Prime suffered some significant damage to his memory core. I wish your people would have been a bit more careful, Proctor. The good news is that the damage isn't irreversible, and I should be able to get the power flowing into his CPU core without overloading. If your people stay out of my way, that is.
Charming, isn't she?
Sorry about that, Ingram.
Don't worry about it. We might be butting heads on a few issues, but I've dealt with worse. Besides, Dr. Lee's worth all the aggravation. We're working with one of Prime's original designers. I don't see it getting any better than that. In fact, since things are going so well, we're gonna have you start building his electromagnetic actuators.
What do the actuators do?
Pretty simple, really. The actuators are what allows Liberty Prime's arms and legs to move. Prime's new limbs are way too heavy for the simple hydraulic pistons he had in the past. We're gonna have to rip those out, construct a brand new system using electromagnets, and install them in its limbs. What we need you to do is build the actuators for us.
Now that you know what the actuators are, you need to know how to make them. These are the plans and the materials list. Don't lose them.
Now, before you get that look on your face, you'll be happy to know that we have plenty of the raw materials on that list right here at the airport. The only thing we need you to head out and find is a high-powered magnet. According to Proctor Quinlan, the best place to find one is in any of the ruined hospitals around the Commonwealth. We've already sent out a few teams to find the rest of the high-powered magnets you'll need. They should be back by the time you return.
Once you start building the actuators, we need one for each limb, so you'll need to make a total of 4. Good luck.
Damn ferals. Radiation is twisted senses. might miss.
well on your way to. To stop it, so do. Tip number 3, the Alpha Teen doesn't gossip. Alright, there's absolutely nothing beneficial that comes out of gossiping for talking about other people. Down by the time he was an old man, because during his life he worked construction, he worked in stay away from drugs, alcohol, and nicotine. It's tough because I know this is the age, right? All your friends are starting to
got it.
I can hear you. I hear something. Something there. God! Spineless human!
Only deepen your frustration and angst, because the next day she will A, regret the kiss, B, feel even more terrible about herself, which will cause C, her avoiding you like the plague. You will misread this drunken hooker, and even further devastated when she stops returning your calls.
Gonna splatter your face! Go ahead and hide, little leader!
But don't be pathetic. This is a time to maintain your dignity and self-respect. You can initiate a conversation. Hey, would you like to go out? This needs to happen at the early stages of meeting somebody, all right? Once it gets to the stage of you being a solid friend, and that is the issue here, then it's time to actually accept the relationship as it is, and it's time to move on and meet somebody that will reciprocate your romantic feelings. Because let me tell you something, nothing says unsexy, unappealing than a dude that just doesn't get it. He doesn't take it for an answer. He's like, oh, but Sheila, I love you. She's like, Brian, seriously, I am not into you. Don't sweat it. It is time to get your flirt on. And if you missed the video that I did where I without being creepy, there's a link down in the description. It's a super solid video, and it also offers some great advice. You flirt, you meet, you date, and you're going to know pretty early on whether or not this relationship is going to end up. Gentlemen, what's happening? I'm here with my dad, Papa A.
Afternoon.
Today we're talking about fighting, physical violence. The inspiration of this came actually in the way of an email that I got the other day asking me, Alpha, what do you do when somebody disrespects you? Do you go in? Do you just fight them? And this actually got me thinking about a video that I did a while ago about how to win a fight every time. And this was actually a pretty funny video because in the video, basically the essence, and there's a link down below to it, is that you shouldn't fight, all right? There's nothing beneficial that comes out of having physical altercations. And the people in the comments get so mad at this video because they're finding it on YouTube because they're searching out like how to win a fight every time. And so, you know, they're looking for some like super crazy like choke out finishing move, and I'm telling them to hug it out. And so they get so mad. I personally have never been in a fight, a fist fight, never in my life. And for the longest time I was kind of ashamed of it, where it's almost like, and I think our society, we you know, even though we don't necessarily encourage violence between men, I think that, you know, it's sort of acceptable. And so, have you ever been in a fight?
I think the last fight I was in with my brother, he was about 8 and I was 10.
Have you ever been even remotely close to a fist fight? Yeah.
Dr. Ingram.
That's all 4 actuators. Delivered and done. Nice work.
Right on schedule. I've completed the restoration of Prime's basic functions, and he's ready to go. In fact, it's getting difficult to explain to the system why it can't move right now.
Well, as soon as my scribes get those actuators in place, we'll have his arms and legs installed in no time. Which brings me to your next assignment. It won't be long before Prime can walk and talk, but he's missing one last important element. His nukes. Without them, his offensive systems aren't operating at peak capacity.
I'll run down to the Super Duper Mart and pick some up.
Cute. I wish it was that simple. Prime's bomb pack is fitted for Mark 28 nuclear bombs. The same type of bombs that were dropped from aircraft during the Great War. The Commonwealth was a major staging area for the military's Air Force, so we assumed we wouldn't have trouble finding them. But since we arrived, our scouting teams haven't located a single bomb.
That's going to be a problem. Without a fully loaded nuke pack, Prime won't have the firepower to take on the Institute.
She's right.
Of course she's right. But before you give up hope, there's actually a silver lining here. Proctor Quinlan has located some records regarding a military installation, which was used as a nuclear weapons storage facility. We're fairly certain this included a stockpile of the Mark 28s. The catch is that the installation is located somewhere within the glowing sea.
Oh no, not again.
Yep. You better stock back up on the anti-radiation gear. Scribe Halen's established a communications point on the frontier of the glowing sea. I suggest you head out there first, and establish a signal protocol with her so that the nukes can be airlifted out once you've located them. Hopefully, by the time you've returned, we'll be ready to wake Prime up, and you can say hello. Good luck, Knight.
Rearming Prime with nukes should get him back to full fighting potential.
But a lot of people, when they find themselves in these situations, you know, they've had too much to drink. And, you know, somebody called me out and said that when we do that stammering, and somebody said that we do it on purpose.
No, sorry.
We're not that well choreographed, my friend. You want to be? Have you ever been in a fight?
Again, Knight. You've come a long way since you stumbled into Cambridge Police Station.
Thanks, Halen. I assume the place is still in one piece.
We're doing the best that we can. We've had the occasional synth attack, but so far we've been able to keep them from overrunning us. Thanks to the reinforcements and the air support, I'd say that site was secure.
Don't underestimate the Institute, especially with teleporter technology at their disposal.
Don't worry. We won't let any of them run us out of there. Anyway, I know you don't have time for small talk, so I'll get right to it. I've had the men set up the equipment we'll need to pinpoint you once you found the bombs. We've rigged up this distress pulsar to emit a unique tone that we'll be listening for. When you find the bombs, plant the pulsar, and we'll handle the rest. After that, you should probably head back to Proctor Ingram and bring her your report.
If I survive, you mean?
Don't worry. I've taken care of everything. Look, I know you've been through the glowing sea before, but remember to keep an eye on your Geiger counter. If you don't, the radiation will cook you from the inside out. Good luck, Knight.
seconds. Oh. Larry, Bucky, if you guys can hear me, stop messing around and come get me. Oh. I'm stuck in some shithole in the middle of the glowing city. Wish I could give you better directions. Okay. Larry, remember that church steeple sticking out that we spotted a week ago? Go there, turn southwest, and walk until you find the cave.
State your purpose, stranger. You walk on Atom's hallowed ground.
Who's Atom?
Atom is all. He is the bringer of light, the great divider. He is the infinite worlds within all of us.
Oh, right. Hallowed ground. Obviously. Just look how wonderful this place is.
Your mockery is wasted. The children of Atom have sworn to guard this place until the time of the Great Divide. None shall enter.
What's this Great Divide?
One day, Atom will return, and his touch upon the earth will bring the Great Divide. His glow will spread, it will illuminate, and it will birth infinite worlds from within us all.
Talking to you is pointless.
All your petty deeds will become pointless when Atom returns. You will leave this.
Forgive me. I wish to repent and seek...
You are. Take this, and prepare to enter his inner sanctum. Follow the brilliance of the glow. May Atom's radiance...
Sir? Sir?
This is Captain Mitch Dunleavy, 132nd Engineering Corps at Sentinel Site Prescott. All lines of communication are down, and we're tracking multiple inbounds on radar. This is a drill. We need confirmation immediately.
May Atom guide you, brother.
Looks like the Mark 28s are gonna do the trick. That was a good find.
I'll work with your team to ensure that Prime's bombs remain stable after they're loaded into his pack. It won't be too much of a problem.
Well, Dr. Lee, I have to admit, we couldn't have done this without you.
It's a little early to begin celebrating, Proctor Ingram. We haven't fully thrown the switch on Liberty Prime, and I'm just hoping all the work I've done to keep his system stable are gonna hold.
There's only one way to find out.
Absolutely. Proctor, all the readouts look green. I think it's time for you to perform the power shunt.
Actually, I think I'm gonna let you press the button. After all, without your help, we'd still be staring at a pile of disassembled parts.
It would be better if a trained technician performed that task, but I suppose you deserve to be the one to do it.
Liberty Prime, back online.
Let's run a basic diagnostic on him.
Diagnostic command accepted.
Give him a moment. He needs to adjust to his new configuration.
Voice module online. Audio functionality test initialized. Designation: Liberty Prime Mark II. Mission: the liberation of Anchorage, Alaska. Primary targets: any and all red Chinese invaders.
Let me run a system analysis and battle readiness check.
Liberty Prime, full system analysis. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Warning: nuclear weapon payload depleted. Reload required. Warning: power core offline. Running on external power only. Core restart recommended. Ability to repel red Chinese invaders compromised.
Got green lights across the board here. He's looking good from where I'm sitting. Doctor, if you wouldn't mind keeping an eye on the big guy here, I'd appreciate it. Well, I have to admit, I wasn't sure we'd be able to pull it off, but Liberty Prime's looking pretty good.
With him on our side, I don't see how the Institute even stands a chance.
I couldn't agree with you more. Before you head off to your next assignment, I have something for you. I came up with this little beauty myself. I think it'll add a bit more punch to your power armor.
This wasn't necessary, Ingram.
Come on. You earned the damn thing. Besides, Liberty Prime isn't about to run out and get you a gift. Anyway, that's enough of that. You better hightail it up to the Pridwin. Elder Maxson said he needed to speak to you as soon as you were done here. And thank you, Knight. Without you, none of this would have been possible.
Look, I'm really busy, and I'm not in the mood for talking.
here to save the Commonwealth.
Is there anything you wish to tell me, Knight?
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
I find your ignorance awfully convenient. Proctor Quinlan completed the decryption of the data you retrieved from the Institute. A portion of his findings included a list of synths that went missing or escaped from their underground facility. After careful analysis of the information, we've discovered something unprecedented. Paladin Dance is a perfect match for one of the synths on that list.
There has to be some kind of mistake.
In my experience, Proctor Quinlan doesn't make mistakes. The data you brought back included a record of each subject's DNA. We keep the same information on file for all of our soldiers. Paladin Dance's DNA is a perfect match for a synth they called M797. To make matters worse, he's gone AWOL, disappeared without a trace. His sudden absence simply reinforces our conclusion that M797 and Paladin Dance are one and the same. I'm finding it difficult to believe that he never confided in you, and then swore you to secrecy.
You have to believe me. He never told me he was a synth.
Apparently, I've misjudged you, which means I've decided to take you at your word. However, that doesn't absolve you of your duty. Dance is a synth. He represents everything we hate, a monstrosity of technology. Our mission in the Commonwealth is clear. The Institute and its creations need to be destroyed in order to preserve our future, which leaves me facing the most difficult order I've ever given. I'm ordering you to hunt down Dance and execute him.
Isn't there some other way?
Absolutely not. My decision is final. Listen, I'm not blind to the fact that Dance was your mentor, and this isn't an easy burden to bear. But if we're to remain strong, we can't afford to make exceptions. Even when it means executing one of our own. Find Proctor Quinlan. He's been analyzing the data and should be able to provide you with a starting point. And Knight, there's a promotion for you riding on the results of these orders. So don't disappoint me. You're dismissed.
Attention. Tomorrow's tactical briefing has been postponed. A new time and date will be forthcoming.
Oh, Knight. I was told you were coming. Sorry about this business with Dance.
What do you know about this situation?
While I was decrypting all of the data you acquired from within the Institute, I came across a list. It appears that the Institute keeps exemplary records where their synths are concerned, including logging those that were reported missing. As I was perusing this list, I came across an image of Dance under the heading M797. A quick DNA comparison with our own records told the rest of the tale. I'm certain this comes as quite a shock to you, Knight. I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about it.
I understand. On to your orders, then. I've been poring over Dance's duty reports, and unfortunately, I haven't found any concrete information. As you're well aware, Dance had intimate knowledge of the Commonwealth, and I'm afraid he could be seeking refuge anywhere. I think our best approach would be to identify every location he's ever visited and eliminate them as possibilities one by one. You may want to get comfortable. This could take quite a bit of...
What the hell is this crap about Dance being a synth?
I assume your outburst was a reference to some doubt regarding Dance's identity. I can assure you that my findings are quite accurate, Scribe.
So he sets Dance up, and then you knock him down. Is that it?
How did you hear about it?
There are no secrets in the Brotherhood. Maxon's made it clear that we're to locate Paladin Dance, and if we find him, report his location to you. That can only mean you've been sent to hunt him down.
I don't have time to discuss it right now, Halen.
Why? In too much of a rush to pull the trigger? I can't believe that after everything Paladin Dance did for you, you're just gonna turn your back on him like this. There's obviously been a mistake, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
Scribe Halen, you're addressing a senior officer, and you will show him the respect that he's due. Or so help me, I'll have you brought up on charges. Now, unless you're here with information that can assist us, I suggest you return to the police station immediately.
Of course. My apologies, Proctor. I believe I have some information that's relevant to the search.
Very well, then. Would you care to enlighten us? Or do we have to wait until you decide to grace us with your knowledge?
Knight, if you'd accompany me to the flight deck, I'd like to show you the information I've compiled firsthand. I've stored the data on my Vertibird gunship's computer.
Change of heart, Halen?
Just following orders, sir.
Proceed, Knight. I'll continue doing my...
If you'll follow me, sir. Actually plan on killing Paladin Dance?
I haven't decided yet.
Well, before you do, I need you to listen to what I have to say. I've known Paladin Dance ever since I was an initiate. He trained me, showed me the ropes, and when I screwed up, he taught me to dust myself off and move on. He's earned my admiration, my respect, and my friendship. I don't care what Quinlan's report says. I don't care if he's a machine or not. He's still Dance.
Get to the point.
I'm trying. This is difficult. Dance is the most selfless person I've ever met. I've watched him risk his own life based on nothing more than principle alone. That's why I'm asking you, not just as a member of the Brotherhood, but as a human being. Give him a chance. Let him tell his side of the story. If you're not convinced by what he says, or somehow he's become truly lost to us, then you do what you have to do.
All right, I'll hear him out.
That's all that I ask. I'll just have to trust that when the time comes, you'll do the right thing. Before the Pribwin showed up, Dance had me identify a fallback point if we ever lost the police station. It was Listening Post Bravo, an old pre-war U.S. military outpost on the northern frontier of the Commonwealth. It's isolated, and we're the only ones that knew about it. So, there's a good chance that's where he's headed. Just be careful. There's no telling what state of mind he's in right now, or if he trusts any of us at all.
farmers give you any trouble?
Have anything unusual?
I have some special. Sort of a hobby. Slap a few of them onto your weapons.
Let me see what you have.
Be my guest.
I heard that Elder Maxon got that scar in his face before he won the death. Damn pharaohs. Radiation has a twisted sense of humor.
The last person that disobeyed Captain Kells ended up screaming run. Pridwin's Hall. Hillside.
Unidentified intruder detected. Beginning search. Commencing attack on hostile target.
I'm not surprised Maxon sent you. He never liked to do the dirty work himself.
Why didn't you tell me, Dance?
Because I didn't know. Until Quinlan got that list decoded, I thought synths were the enemy. I never expected to hear that I was one of them. If it wasn't for Halen, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So, what are your orders? Does Maxon even want me alive?
No. But I'm hoping there's a way out.
Don't be ridiculous. Look, I'm not blind to the fact that we're good friends, and this must be very difficult for you. I wish Maxon had sent someone else, but that doesn't change a thing. I'm a synth, which means I need to be destroyed. If you disobey your orders, you're not only betraying Maxon, you're betraying the Brotherhood of Steel and everything it stands for. Synths can't be trusted. Machines were never meant to make their own decisions. They need to be controlled. Technology that's run amok is what brought the entire world to its knees, and humanity to the brink of extinction. I need to be the example, not the exception.
The empathy that you're showing me, it's a human emotion.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I've made my decision. I'm ready to accept the consequences of my true identity. Maxon's ordered you to execute me, and I'll be damned if I'm going to stand in your way.
No. I won't do it, Dance.
I can't believe you'd risk your life just to keep me alive. Why would you do that for me?
I've already lost my family. I don't want to lose my friend.
You're right. How could I have been so blind? I should consider how my death might affect the people that care about me. People like you and Halen. Perhaps now that you've opened my eyes, I can consider my next move.
What's our next move?
You need to continue your fight against the Institute. I have my own path to follow. The only clear choice is for me to leave the Commonwealth. The sooner I make for the border, the sooner I put this behind me. Take my holotags. Use them to prove that your mission was a success, or Maxon will just send someone else to hunt me down. Now, come on. Let's get the hell out of here.
Hey.
Carrying too much gear is tactically dangerous.
Going up. Ground floor.
How dare you betray the Brotherhood?
It's not his fault. It's mine.
I'll deal with you in a moment. Knight, why has this thing not been destroyed?
He's still alive. Because you're wrong about him.
Him! Dance isn't a man. It's a machine. An automaton created by the Institute. It wasn't born from the womb of a loving mother. It was grown within the cold confines of a laboratory. Flesh is flesh. Machine is machine. The two were never meant to intertwine. By attempting to play God, the Institute has taken the sanctity of human life and corrupted it beyond measure.
After all I've done for the Brotherhood, all the blood I've spilled in our name, how can you say that about me?
You're the physical embodiment of what we hate most. Technology that's gone too far. Look around you, Dance. Look at the scorched earth and the bones that litter the wasteland. Millions, perhaps even billions, died because science outpaced man's restraint. They called it a new frontier and pushing the envelope, completely disregarding the repercussions. Can't you see the same thing is happening again? You're a single bomb in an arsenal of thousands, preparing to lay waste to what's left of mankind.
You're comparing Dance to a nuclear bomb?
This machine might not be a bomb, but its goal is exactly the same. Place it where you want the damage done, and when you least expect it, it delivers a lethal blow without warning and without mercy. A precision strike delivered right at the heart of the enemy. How can you trust the word of a machine that thinks it's alive? A machine that's had its mind erased, its thoughts programmed, its very soul manufactured. Those ethics that it's striving to champion aren't even its own. They were artificially inserted in an attempt to have it blend into society.
It's true. I was built within the confines of a laboratory, and some of my memories aren't my own. But when I saw my brothers dying at my feet, I felt sorrow. When I defeated an enemy of the Brotherhood, I felt pride. And when I heard your speech about saving the Commonwealth, I felt hope. Don't you understand? I thought I was human, Arthur. From the moment I was taken in by the Brotherhood, I've done absolutely nothing to betray your trust, and I never will.
It's too late for that now. The Institute has foolishly chosen to grant you life. You simply should not exist. I don't intend to debate this any longer. My orders stand.
It's all right. We did our best. You convinced me that I was wrong to be ashamed of my true identity, and I thank you for it. Whatever you decide, know that I'm going to my grave with no anger and no regrets.
Touch. Either you execute Dance, or I will, Knight. The choice is yours.
After all the sacrifices I've made, and all the battles I've fought for the Brotherhood, you need to listen to me. You owe me that much.
Very well. I'm listening.
Just listen to me. If I've earned any of your trust or respect while I've served with the Brotherhood, then I'd gladly trade it to keep Dance alive.
You value this machine's life that much. So, it appears we've arrived at an impasse. Allowing Dance to live undermines everything the Brotherhood stands for. Yet you insist that he remains alive, which leaves me with only a single alternative. Dance, as far as I'm concerned, you're dead. You were pursued and slain by this Brotherhood Knight, and your remains were incinerated. From this day forward, you are forbidden to set foot on the Pridwin, or speak to anyone from the Brotherhood of Steel. Should you choose to ignore me, know you'll be fired upon immediately. Do we understand each other?
I do. Thank you for believing in me, Arthur.
Don't mistake my mercy for acceptance. The only reason you're still alive is because of him. I'm returning to the Pridwin Knight. Take some time. Say your goodbyes. And then I expect to see you there. We still have the Institute to deal with.
Hi.
It took a hell of a lot of guts to stand up to Maxon like that.
At least we know he isn't chasing you.
That's an excellent suggestion. I didn't plan on spending the rest of my days at this old listening post, but it will have to do. Besides, you're still going to need my help, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let you wander the Commonwealth alone. Now, you better get back to the Pridwin. In the meantime, I'll start making this bunker more livable. If you ever need me, I'll be right here.
What about Halen?
I don't think Maxon knew she was involved, so she'll be safe. I'll contact her and let her know what happened here. It's the least I could do.
Can't you come with me now?
You heard what Maxon said. If I'm seen aboard the Pridwin, at the police station, or at the airport, not only would I be killed, I'd undermine his authority. I won't do that. But if you need me to take the fight anywhere else, I'll be there.
Are you gonna have a problem killing synths?
I might physically be a synth, but my heart and mind belong to the Brotherhood. The Institute is still a tremendous threat to the Commonwealth. They possess technologies that need to be confiscated or destroyed. I promise you, I won't hesitate to pull the trigger on them.
Goodbye, Dance.
Farewell. I hope the next time we meet, it will be under happier circumstances.
Reporting is ordered, Elder.
Before we continue, I want to make one thing clear. This conversation will be the last time we speak about Dance. As far as the Brotherhood of Steel is concerned, he's dead. Do you understand?
Understood.
Good. Of course. Dance's execution creates a missing link in our chain of command. That traitor held quite an important position with us. I'm certain that you'll make a fine replacement. His quarters and all his possessions are now yours, including his personal suit of power armor. Congratulations, Paladin.
Where did Dance keep his power armor?
I'm certain you can find it in Proctor Ingram's section of the ship. Wear it with pride. Just be aware that a Brotherhood Paladin is expected to be a symbol of integrity to our brothers and sisters. I trust you won't disappoint them, or disappoint me. In any event, we still have the Institute to contend with, and a lot of work to do before we can begin our final assault. While the finishing touches are being put onto Liberty Prime, Captain Kells has identified a potential threat to our operations. Report to him immediately for your next assignment. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
Delta sequence initiated. Completion time, 14 minutes.
Excuse me, Captain Kells?
Ah, Paladin. Good. Now that the unfortunate matter regarding Dance has been settled, we can return to our primary mission.
Do you think Dance's execution was justified?
It's quite obvious Dance was a traitor, or at the very least, a turncoat in the making. That machine's presence was endangering this ship and its crew, so it needed to be dealt with, swiftly and without mercy. Your actions in this matter were not only justified, they were vital to our mission. With all of that behind us, we can shift our focus back to our wartime preparations.
No rest for the weary.
We'll rest when the Institute is a smoking ruin. Until then, Elder Maxon and I expect you to be at your best. Now, before we launch our attack on the Institute, we need to address another threat. The Railroad. They're a small but capable group that uses subterfuge and guerrilla tactics to harass their enemies. Our tactical analysis says they could possibly hamper or harm our operations, which is a risk I'm not willing to take. If we strike them now, we should be able to maximize the amount of damage we do to their organization.
Why is the Railroad such a threat?
Even with their relatively small numbers, the Railroad is a constant threat to our operations. They've already proven to be resilient against superior forces, with a knack for disappearing when cornered. Worse still, they possess the capability to help synths flee. If we intend to end, destroying the Railroad hinges on completely eliminating their leadership. Otherwise, they'll simply regroup somewhere else. To that end, here's a list of the 5 targets we believe would cause a catastrophic failure in their chain of command.
Do they all have to die?
Absolutely. It's the only effective way of ensuring that they're no longer a threat. Now, before you depart, Proctor Ingram has additional orders for you to complete.
Our sources tell us that the Railroad has some sort of experimental or prototype robot in their headquarters. They're calling it the Predictive Analytic Machine, or PAM for short. Cute, huh? They use the robot for complex strategic calculations that are much more efficient than anything we can generate here. If you could use this holotape to decrypt the security on PAM's terminal, it will force the unit to return to the Pridwin. I'm certain we could put PAM's computing power to good use. Otherwise, destroy it. You wouldn't want it to fall into the Institute's hands.
Collecting technology for you is becoming a habit, Proctor.
A habit you appreciate, I hope.
I'm certain the Paladin appreciates that the acquisition of technology is one of our most sacred tenets. When you're ready, proceed to the Old North Church and link up with our assault team. They'll provide demolition support and all the firepower you'll need to take the Railroad down. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
Try and get Pam back here in one piece, okay?
Now that you've had a chance to roam the Pridwin, what do you think, Paladin?
She's very impressive.
Yes. Quite a feat of engineering, isn't she? It took the Brotherhood's sharpest minds over 2 years to design, and more than twice that to build.
That's a long time.
Constructing the Pridwin required a vast amount of resources, far more than the Brotherhood possessed when we began. We spent the first 2 years alone gathering the parts. The rest was spent assembling. It was worth the effort. With the Pridwin in our arsenal, we can mobilize our entire division, sending her anywhere that Elder Maxon wishes her to go. Her presence in the Commonwealth ensures that our mission to defeat the Institute will end in victory.
Did the Brotherhood ever build other airships?
There were less advanced versions of the ship built on the West Coast a long time. Historical records about... In any event, I hope your tour of the Pridwin, I think you'll find that the more familiar...
Lancer Captain Kell said it's going to take a lot of hard work and discipline if I want to be as good as you.
Just checking the time. I wonder how I can get the Elder Maximus coat. Or Arthur. His first name is Arthur.
Got trouble. Bam. Mercy. Area secure. Here we go.
What was that?
Yeah. Stay. Hello, G. Back up.
What just happened?
Another victory for the Brotherhood.
for programming instructions. Recommend interface. Type RJ11G.
Taking on a death claw without backup is a great way to get yourself killed.
Well, it appears that the railroad won't be a hindrance to our future operations.
What's going to happen to their headquarters?
The location doesn't hold tactical significance, so we'll simply post a small squad there, in case any stragglers choose to return. I'm also pleased you managed to secure Pam, rather than allow it to be destroyed. We are having it brought to the Pridwin, where it will be installed in Proctor Quinlan's office. It's an amazing piece of pre-war technology that should prove to be quite beneficial to us. Speaking of pre-war technology, Proctor Ingram is putting the final touches on Liberty Prime and requires your assistance. Congratulations on another successful mission, Paladin. Ad Victoriam.
Ad Victoriam.
Looks like we have a thruster imbalance. Tweaking pitch.
Proximity sensor green. Getting a 3-second
Unable to comply with command. Transfer prediction algorithms to central. Scanning memory.
Attention all personnel. This is to serve as a reminder. Scribe Naraya's mole rat subjects are not pets. They are crucial military resources. As such, they are not to be fed by any personnel save Scribe Naraya and her team. Any violation of this policy will result in severe discipline.
You look like you've been through the ringer, Paladin. Can't say that I blame you. That was a hell of a business with Dance. Can't even imagine having to look him in the face and pull the trigger.
Believe me, it wasn't easy.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm sorry you had to be the one to handle the dirty work. Anyway, we need to move on to more important things now. Like getting Liberty Prime off of life support. We've been feeding him power through the Pridwin's engines, but there isn't nearly enough juice to cold start his fusion reactor. That's why we need you to find us a beryllium agitator.
How can the beryllium agitator start up his reactor?
If Prime's reactor is a campfire, the beryllium agitator is like a match. Strike it, throw it on the logs, and the whole thing ignites. Fusion reactors need a massive power surge in order to get the reaction started. Once it starts, it's self-sustaining. I'm sure I could get one of my scribes to bore you to death with the details, but you get the gist.
Fine, just point me in the right direction.
I was hoping you'd say that. Quinlan dug up some dirt on a company called Mass Fusion. They were a power utility company before the world went belly up. The CEO was some kind of an inventor. Dreamed up all sorts of nuclear power toys. The agitator was his crown jewel. Records show he was working on it in his lab at the top of their high-rise in the financial district. That's where we're headed. Hope you don't mind a little company, because I'm coming with you.
It's your funeral.
Well, with a big bad soldier like you watching my back, that's not gonna happen now, is it? Kells has a vertibird on standby, waiting to drop us off on the roof of the Mass Fusion Tower. Grab whatever gear you need and meet me on the flight deck. But don't take too long. If the Institute finds out...
Sure.
That farm's nothing you can't handle.
I'll take a look.
Be my guest.
know those synths with the plastic faces? They creep me. The heck out.
When I get off duty, Salisbury steak is mine.
In my experience, hot shots and big guns are not Oh god, mole rat on a stick was a really bad idea. Excuse me.
Worried about these recruits.
Maxon might appear compassionate.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm extremely tired. It's about 6 o'clock and I need to go to bed. So, thank you for watching and see you.
Dr. Lee's return to the Brotherhood. I thought she was a traitor.